Hey everybody, good morning. Today I thought I'd do a video. I've been wanting to respond back to a few other emails, well, more than a few. A couple people asked me questions about repairs and cables and different things. A lot of people may know this, a lot of people may not know this. I'm going to explain this to you guys just so it helps you out a little bit. If you're going to be doing any reel-to-reel or video capture or from any type of vintage deck, keep in mind, first of all, cables matter big time. Do not use cheap cables. Here's an example of what I've used and what I'm using. This is a high-end cable which came with the Avid editing systems of the day. These are solid copper with BNC ends on them. These are really high quality. I use that, and I also plug them into RCA little connectors, which are BNCs on the ends of them. But if you're doing reel-to-reel, you want to do BNC to a UHF male connector, such as this. Connect to one of these, and then you have your outputs that goes to your capture card or whatever you're doing, which would be, BNC to RCA or whatever you're using. But like I said, guys, you got to have really good cables. Don't use cheap cables if you're going to be connecting these things. Reel-to-reel uses mini. So I do reel-to-reel. They use like a mini. These are mono. These are not stereo. Keep that in mind. All reel-to-reels use these little mini plugs for audio, sometimes RCA, but not normally. And you want to use a good mono out to like an RCA, and then you can split it off into stereo. Use good connectors, good plugs. You try to find good high-quality cables that are solid copper, not these cheap cables that you see. It will make a difference in your video capture. Your videos will look, you want to do the best you can when you're doing this stuff. So you need to invest some money in some really good cables and equipment that works, which brings up another point. I got a lot of people coming over about the equipment. Okay, yes, I do service 3/4 pneumatics. I have virtually all the parts for fixing these, except for electronic boards. If there's something wrong on that aspect, you have to have another machine to part out to actually fix the boards on these things. But as far as all the mechanics, the alignments, the belts, the adjustments, I do all that on the 3/4 pneumatic. So if you have any repairs for 3/4 pneumatic, call me right now or email me. I could do the work for you and ship it back to you. Maybe you're doing your own little archive and you want a 3/4 pneumatic fixed. Now, speaking of reel-to-reel, if you have reel-to-reel machines, you got to keep in mind, most of the reel-to-reel machines are mechanical. They take rubber tires and belts, all kinds of rubber parts on these things. They're all junk when you find these machines. I work on hundreds of these machines, so I know. So if you have reel-to-reel repairs like the Sony AV8650, Sony AV5000A, 5000, 3650, 3600, or any of the reel-to-reel Panasonic NV3130s, they all take rubber parts on the mechanical parts of them. They take rubber tires, and these are big rubber tires that these things take. You can't find them. They're very hard to find the exact matches. So it's not easy fixing the EIAJ reel-to-reels or even some of the non-EIAJ machines. They do take a lot of rubber parts. They take springs. They take belts. A lot of them need video heads. A lot of them need replacement motor capacitors. The reel-to-reel machines are very primitive, and they need an awful lot of parts. I am not kidding you. But over the years, I've been doing this for 30 years, guys. I've got parts on hand like you wouldn't even believe for the reel-to-reel machines, as well as the 3/4 pneumatic machines. But as far as all the other repairs on video decks, I have a lot of parts for those as well. I used to be, I'm an electronics technician. I used to work in a video repair parts department, service center in Chicago. I've done that for a long time. And also I worked from home for years, so I grabbed collections of parts for repairs off eBay and various things. I've been collecting this stuff for years. So I do have an awful lot of parts on hand if you need repairs for 3/4 pneumatic, EIAJ video decks such as these that need a ton of rubber parts or you're just not going to work right. The Betacam SPs and all the general ones. I work on all this stuff. So if you guys need repairs on reel-to-reel, 3/4 pneumatic, I mean, you're going to find out once you open these up and you think you can fix them, they need a lot of rubber parts and belts, and it's not worth your time trying to search for this stuff because you need part numbers, you need service manual, you need all kinds of stuff, and you don't have any of that stuff. You're pretty much dead in the water trying to match a part that you might need for one of these machines because most of these rubber parts and belts and different things are not listed by machines. They're just listed by part numbers on eBay and all these places, and if you don't know part numbers, you're not going to be able to fix these. Plus, they have to be re-greased. They have to be electronically checked out. A lot of times they need new capacitors. There's just so much work that goes into these. So guys, if you need help, contact me. I do the repairs. I just want to do a quick note on this. People have been asking me. Like I said, guys, make sure you get good quality cables. Use high copper quality cables, not these cheap cables you buy off eBay for $10. Those things are all junk. You're going to get crappy quality transfers. Sometimes you bend them a certain way and they don't even work. They're just crap. But I do not use crap. I mean, when I'm doing quality transfers, I make sure my equipment is serviced as well as all the cables and connections that I use. I do not use anything that's garbage. So if you guys have any questions about cables, what to buy, video repair, belts, different parts, and you don't know what you're doing and you like a little bit of help, you could ship this stuff. I service everything. So if it's stuff that's, quality control wise, belts, springs, alignments, belts, all kinds of different things, I do all that kind of stuff. Just want to answer that question, guys. I do belts as well as cables. I do it all. So if you have any questions about video repair from the 1970s, 80s, and 90s and beyond, I do it all. So I hope that answers some of the questions about what you guys need to do. If you're going to do any of this on your own, you're going to be fighting trying to find parts for these machines. You really will. And plus you need to know how to set them up, and you need to know what you're doing. So save yourself the grief. Give us a call here at Obsolete Video Services, and we'll see what we can do to help you out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.